This live martial arts training video, you're going to learn staff training for beginners. This is part 2. This is a good starting point for anybody, even if you missed part 1. But you can go back, find part 1, and start there. Just start with me now. Hold your staff in the middle with either hand. You're just going to turn it back and forth. You want to get blood into the joint. You want to keep yourself safe from injury during this workout. This is also going to start to build power in your forearms, in your shoulders, in your hand, and your wrist. Just going back and forth. You can see I'm moving a little slowly. It's because I'm using this heavy hickory bow. This is a self-defense training bow. This is for hitting people with in self-defense. So it's a little bit heavier. It's very sturdy. Doesn't matter what you start with, just start. Put it in the other hand, pinky to pinky, always when we change, palm up. And then we're just going side to side in the other hand for 30 seconds. You want time under tension to make your body change. That means you go for a certain amount of time and not necessarily a number of repetitions. Good afternoon, Matthew. It's good to see you. Going side to side, building power in your grip. This is going to make you great at all martial arts styles. Whether you're a grappler, you're a striker, you just focus on weapons. You're going to have very strong hands, arms, and shoulders. Hello, Ed. It's good to see you. Oh, good. Ed said he's waiting for his hickory staff to arrive. I am now a die-hard fan of the hickory staff, especially for self-defense. This is the one you want when you defend yourself. It's in the first link below. If anybody wants to see the dimensions, see what they're made like, if you want to get one of your own, have it shipped to you like Ed. Now, after this, after 30 seconds, you're going to put it back into that first hand. And since this is how to train staff at home for beginners, part 2, we are going to take it to the side. We're going to progress in this video. We're going to do a little bit harder. Not too hard, but enough that you continue to grow and change. I'm putting it to the side of my body. It's the same motion here. I just come here, and that's so that I engage the shoulders in a way that they really have to grow and get stronger. You're gonna have big, strong, powerful shoulders. Good afternoon, Vic. It's good to see you. Big, strong, powerful shoulders. Again, that's gonna make you better at all martial arts training. Put it in the other hand, put it out to the side, different plane of motion. Just down and back. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. No need to rush this, especially if you have a heavy staff. You don't want to damage anything. So you want to go slowly and gradually increase your speed. The faster you go, the more it's going to increase your range of motion. That means it's going to twist your wrist more. So go slow at first so you don't hurt yourself. You'll know when it's time to speed it up. All right, 30 seconds here. I'm going to come back in front of the body, and I'm going to start to go side to side. That's going to also increase the stretch, twisting my hand out a little bit more. But it's also going to give you powerful grips. You get stronger and stronger. Vic says, same here. Yes, stronger and stronger, because as it goes out, it's forcing you to stop it with the muscles in your forearm. And you're going to feel it all the way up into the outer parts of your shoulder, and you stop it, and then push it back the other way. It's going to make you great. If you do jiu-jitsu or judo, any kind of grappling, this will make you a better grappler. If you do any kind of striking, it's going to give you a better guard and a harder punch, faster punch, way, way faster. You're going to shock yourself the next time you hit something or someone for self-defense. All right, after 30 seconds here, I'm going to put it in my right hand, put the right foot forward, and go into a forward figure 8 spin. The sideways figures 8 or infinity spin just comes to the inside and the outside of your body. You're going to do this for 30 seconds. And then throw it in the other hand. Every time you change, again, your pinky to pinky, palm faces up. When it's in the forward spin, you're going to grab it from behind. The other hand, when it's on the opposite side of the body, this is my right hand. So when you're spinning, you come over to the left side, grab it. We'll go over that again when we start to do the hand-to-hand pass or the transfer. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. One tip to get more speed, suck your gut up and in. Stomach tight, drop your chin. Keep your core tight. Move your hips a little bit. Hips and shoulders will get this to spin faster from one side to the other. After 30 seconds here, I'm coming back into the right hand. Hello, Robert. It's good to see you. Robert's in Reno. Just finished a Keto Joe class. Awesome. I love the Joe, as you all know. the jo and the bo, and now the hanbo, and soon the tanbo. We're going to start working with tanbo a lot. The tanbo is the shorter stick. I'm going to the front and the back. Right now we're working bo with a long martial arts stick, the long martial arts fighting staff. Went to the front and the back of the body. And this is that second plane of motion that you did earlier when you were doing the turning. And it's for the same purpose. I want you, since this is how learn how to use a martial arts staff at home for beginners, part 2, I want to progress it a little bit. I want you to have something new to do. Even if you've done this before, let this burn your shoulder out, put it into the other hand, stick it next to your body, go to the front and the back. Learn how this thing moves through space and time. Great thing about the martial arts weapons, when you hit yourself, you get instant feedback. And so you learn very quickly where the staff is in space and time. Spatial awareness is extremely important for martial arts. You want to be a martial arts master, master the moves, hit yourself a lot, develop spatial awareness. Timing and distance also is going to come from these drills. Going to the front and the back. But let me say this from the beginning, spinning is not fighting. Spinning is not self-defense. When you go into self-defense, you stand behind it, you thrust, you strike, you shove, you block, you parry, you turn. Always strike, but you're not going to spin. Spinning has a great purpose though. Spinning is very important for developing speed, strength, balance, power, great grip. You'll be able to hold it better. Timing and distance, spatial awareness. It's conditioning the body. It gets your heart rate up. So don't neglect the spin because someone who is uneducated or is educated in a narrow way says to you that spinning is wasted. Don't spin. It's not martial arts. It's not self-defense. They're not right. They're missing information. The information that you need to know is that spinning is like boxing, like a boxer jumps rope. So don't let anybody tell you not to spin, especially if you like to do it. Do it because you like to do it. And they can just shut up, right? All right, so we went side to side, figure 8. Now I'm going to put it back in the right hand, put that right foot forward again, and I'm going to reverse the figure 8 in this how to learn how to use martial arts staff at home for beginners. Bow staff, or bow. Bow staff means staff, so bow, spinning for beginners, part 2. I'm coming in and out, and what I'm really doing is just pulling with the small side of my hand, carving this backwards figure 8, pulling up. Matthew says the warm-ups are great for getting a feel for his bow. Yes, absolutely. You're going to know, this becomes a part of your soul, literally, part of your extension of your body with all of this spinning. So how could that be bad for self-defense? It can't be. It would make you fight even better. If you do combat bow, or if you use the bow for self-defense like I do, you have one of these quantum protector bows in oak. You want to know how to use this or the jo or any other martial arts weapon really well, all of the spinning is going to give you more information. Now that I'm doing the reversed spin and I do the hand transfer, it's going to transfer or pass from the right hand when it's on the right side of the body. The left hand goes in front of it instead of behind it. When we were going forward, we went behind it. It was opposite. Now it's same side of the body, right hand, right side, pinky to pinky, and then the left hand pulls it out and up. I was teaching bow last night to a group of teenagers, and this was the biggest challenge, getting it to come with one side of the body and the other side of the body to look like this. Most of them were able to do it with their dominant hand, the right hand, and when they got in the left, it was a challenge. So the key is to slow it down and really think about the small side of your hand pulling up and then pulling up from side to side, side to side. Yeah, Dimitri says he tried this, but the movement was so stiff. Yes, and Dimitri, that's normal because your range of motion as you age, if you don't do certain moves, you don't have, these are not natural moves. These are all, a lot of martial arts moves are counterintuitive moves, meaning that it doesn't come naturally to you. So you have to fight for it. But the good news is you will get it, I promise you. All you do is you move in the direction you want to go and you'll get there. Glenn says, can these be done with a hanbo? Absolutely, Glenn. You can do these with a Let me grab it right here. It's the only thing in the corner right there. With a massage stick, you can do everything with the stick that you've got, right? You can do your wrist rolls. You can do the hand-to-hand passes. You can go behind the back and over the head. You can do everything with whatever you've got. So don't wait to start. Start with what you've got. Get your ego out of the way. I started with mop sticks, broomsticks, rakes. Start with what you've got. Hello, Sensei Amen. It's good to see you. All good. Sensei Amen has a TV on in the dojo. Sensei Amen, I put mine up this week. My brother-in-law installs TVs on yachts and often gets these. You're welcome, Glenn. Often gets extra TVs. He has extra ones sometimes. He's got this big Mama Jamma out there, big monster TV. And same thing. I will do some live casts on that TV, and I just keep it playing with different playlists here on YouTube. That's where I'll watch my videos. All right, or the videos I watch of other people. So you're pulling out with one hand, and then go to the other hand, and then let's start to change hands. This is learn how to use a martial arts staff at home for beginners, part 2. So we might as well go hand to hand. The fun thing about this is, and this goes back to that Dimitri, the wrist flexibility. The fun thing about this is that when you start to move this way, it's almost like your brain picks it up faster for when you go back to the single hand. I've noticed that every time when we start to do, when I'm working with someone and he's struggling or she's struggling with this move, with the one hand, we'll start to go to 2 hands. Hello, Richard, it's good to see you. And as soon as we go to 2 hands and then go back to 1, they still have it. So maybe this is a solution. This will help you get this motion down. All right, going into the forward spin, it's the same thing. Just hand to hand. When you go in the forward spin, this is the right hand, the pass happens on the opposite side of the body. You take it from behind, you come back, the pass happens opposite side of the body. Left hand comes across the body, the right hand takes it pinky, and then the opposite is true here. When you reverse the spin and you're pulling it out and out, the pass happens on the same side of the body, left hand, left side, in the front of the hand, but it's still pinky, palms facing up, and turn. The key is where a lot of people struggle is when they grab it here, they pull it out here to this side and they don't do the spin. So from here, continue the spin. See how I do almost another full turn before I turn it over to here. Celestial Samurai. Yeah, says thanks for all the tips and past demonstrations. Thank you for being here. Thanks for training with me in our International Global Dojo. Welcome. And we'll bow to each other. Side to side. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. And the last time in session 1 of Learn How to Use Martial Arts Staff at Home for Beginners, part 1, we talked about moving forward. I wanted you to move forward and move backward. Move forward and move backward. I want you to also do that in this part 2 with both the forward and the reverse spin, just to keep that going. But today I should say, I want you to turn. The way we're going to turn, we're going to go behind the back on the first turn. So we're going to practice here in the right hand. I turn it behind my back, and I'm going to put my thumb up facing the sky. My left hand comes under the right and pulls it back out to the right side. Sammy Jane, it's good to see you. From here, it pulls out to the right side. Then, to bring it back, thumb faces the sky, the other hand comes under, and I pull it out. So practice going behind the back to the other side, behind the back to the other side. And again, when you smack yourself in the Achilles heel, Achilles tendon, or in your calf, or in your heel itself, maybe on your ankle bone, that's just, I do that still, but that's because you're not straight up and down with the staff. It's not perpendicular to the ground like a tree. it's turning in or it's turning out. Lugo, it's good to see you. Lugo 99 says hello. From here, as you do this turn, you want to work on controlling the staff and then pulling it out. And as I say that, just understand and know that you're going to hit yourself from time to time. And that that's okay. It won't kill you. It'll hurt. It should hurt. I hope it hurts. But I hope it doesn't kill you. I know it won't kill you. It'll just hurt. But you're going behind your back. But you know what? You need more aches and pains in life. Now, some people don't. Maybe Matthew, maybe you don't. A lot of us don't. But when you get them, don't complain about them. Just know that everybody has their own challenge. Everybody's struggling somewhere. So, and they don't want to hear it. No one wants to hear you. And if you find somebody who wants to hear your struggles, they just want to listen long enough so they can come up with why theirs is worse. Oh, you think you got it bad? You hit yourself in the ankle. Oh, the one time I took my toe all the way off. Yeah, and Ed says the body will learn. Amen. All right, now, you've gone behind your back a little bit. Hopefully, your shoulders are sore. Been doing a lot of crab walks today, Spider-Man push-ups, Spider-Man or bear crawls. What else do we do today? Oh, a lot of gorillas, side to side. I'm going to show you guys these. In the next few days, I keep putting these 1-minute videos up on how to get stronger for martial arts. I'm going to put all those up there, so look for those. But all of those made my shoulders really burning. So, you know, yeah, no pain, no gain. They've worn my shoulders out in a good way. All right, so from here, I go behind the back. As it comes here, I'm going to, this is my right hand. I'm going to take my right foot and just turn around, okay? So let me face this way. So this is my right hand. As I come here, I turn around. So my right hand, as it comes behind my back, this is so silly and ridiculous, but I want you to see my feet because it's so uncomplicated and unfancy. And the cool thing is, if you start doing the staff, no one's going to look at your feet. But this is what your feet are doing. Watch my, here, I'll face you. Watch my feet. That's all that is. You just have to take those silly little steps and turn around. So turn, as you're going behind your back, turn, and then keep turning. So it goes behind your back, and then as you're facing the opposite way, it's in front of your body, but then it's going to be behind your back again. Now, I get dizzy very easily when I'm looking at you, looking at the ground, not paying attention to what I'm doing. So I'm going to show you that a few times one way, but then if we go to the left, you simply turn, I'm facing this way, the staff's in front of my body. I continue to turn, it's behind my body again. I drop it, so now I got to pick it up. And remember, if you drop it, pick it up. It's not a big deal. I hope you drop it because you're doing something new. Go behind your back and bring it back out. Go behind your back and bring it out. Then go into the first exercise we did in part 1 of this series. Learn how to use a martial arts staff at home, where you're walking forward, but then turn around and continue to walk forward. Walk backward, turn around, and continue to move. When you are walking backward, yeah, Matthew, it is terrible for those who have vertigo. And I do have students, especially those who are deaf or mostly deaf or completely deaf, who also have inner ear issues. And I get really bad vertigo because I had a lot of ear infections as a child. If I go on a merry-go-round, I'm like done for an hour. So I have to really focus on breathing. There's some exercises I've learned how to do to get the vertigo to minimize, but it's awful. Vertigo, for me, I hate vertigo. So I get it. I appreciate that. If the vertigo is too bad on this one, skip it. There's a lot of other cool stuff you can do. None of this is for self-defense. This is all just to challenge yourself to grow. So if it's just, you know your limitations. If you can't do a certain thing and there's no value in going after it, go do something else. But if you can do it, go for it. But as you go forward and you turn behind, then you're continuing the same way. A fun thing to do is to go one way, turn around, back, behind the back, and go back the other way. So you do a full turn one way and a full turn the other way. And again, this looks super complicated. maybe, if you haven't done it before. Or if you know this one, you're saying that's super easy, I know how to do that. And the reason it's super easy is what I showed you with my feet. I'm just literally, see if we can get the mirror. Where's the mirror? There's the mirror. Where my feet are just, and I mean, how cartoonish and silly is that? But that's all your feet are doing. So I would love to say you have to do a certain tactical move, some kind of fancy footwork that only samurai and ninja know, but you don't. You just turn your body around. It's like the hokey pokey. Put your right foot in, your right foot out. That's what it is. Turn your body around. That's the hokey pokey. That's also, we can call this the hokey pokey. Now let's find a better word for it. We don't need to turn it into a corny thing. All right, now the next thing I want you to do is go back up over your head and learn how to use a martial arts staff at home. For beginners, part 1, we went over the head. So once you go over the head again, and we adjust the camera, I think you can still see I'm using just a little gorilla tripod, gorilla pod or whatever it's called. These things are great. You can take them anywhere. Got the bigger one actually, but I don't have the regular tripod yet. I broke mine during the move. Didn't make it. Been able to pull the trigger and buy the replacement yet. So I'm just going side to side here, overhead, to prime the shoulders, get them ready. I want to do this for 30 seconds. And then I want you to bring it down behind your back and then up over the head. So put that together, behind the back and overhead, and go in one direction for about 30 seconds, and then go back the other way for 30 seconds. This is really going to help your shoulder mobility and flexibility, strength, power. It's also going to force you to suck your stomach up and in, improving your posture, making you taller, leaner, stronger, better able to defend yourself. Overhead, behind the back, overhead, behind the back. Then you're going to go back into the forward turn, go behind your back, pull it up overhead, and then bring it back down, behind your back, up, overhead. And when I go up overhead, think of an L shape, or think of a figure 8, an infinity sign that's bent, right? So you have this circle, and it's bent like that. There's a name for that. I don't know what the name is. But as you're going forward and you simply lift your hand, you're changing. See what I did? I just went from this plane of motion overhead to this plane of motion. So what I want you to practice slowly is turning around backward, and then as you turn your body, just lift your hand up over your head. So as you turn your body, just lift your hand up overhead, and then take it with the other hand. Let me show you that again, because it looks super complicated, but it is not. You're going behind the back. As you turn your body, lift your hand overhead. Then, as it goes overhead, it's not going to be going this way, it's going to be going backward, which is where you took it to go into the other hand. Once you get it out here, simply push it down with your thumb into your figure 8. So it's going behind your back, turn your body, lift your hand. Now it wants to turn back this way. Take it with the other hand, push it back down into the forward figure 8, back behind your body, up over your head, down into your figure 8, in the front of the body, in the back of the body when you're ready, behind the back, over the head, behind the back, turning the body as it comes up overhead. That's when it's going to push itself back the other way, and you go into the forward spin. You have to go back in the forward spin. So I'm gonna leave you with my palm spin. We did this a little bit in part 1, but I really want you to pick this up because it's so different than the other moves, because your hand opens and it spins on your palm. We call it palm spin, but you're not controlling it as much as you do the other ones. So you really have to trust yourself. So go into a forward spin, and then as you come up, change directions. So forward spin with your thumb, come up, open your hand, don't hit the ceiling, forward spin, come up, open your hand, forward spin, come up, forward. And again, it's the same thing. You're taking that infinity spin and you're bending it in half because you're changing planes. So you're doing this plane in front of the body, and then you're going into the plane overhead. Back in front of the body, up, overhead. So it's going to be a full spin from side to side. And up here, it's just open your hand and let it spin. And you can go 2, 3, 4 times, whatever you want. The more you do it, the smoother it will get. But go for it, try it. And then always finish with finger rolls. The reason for the finger rolls is you're doing all of this holding of the staff and turning of the staff and squeezing the staff, which works your flexing muscles, your flexors. And when you spin through your fingers, you're pushing down and pulling up. Pushing down and pulling up. So it's a little bit of flexor, but it's a lot of extensor. And the extensors are the ones that you see when you move your hand like this. You see them in there. Some are more developed than others. So if you only work your holding them closed muscles, you're going to get tendinitis. You're going to get tight elbow, or you're going to get it in the carpal tunnel or whatever. But if you do this finger spinning, not only are you going to have healthier hands and less things like trigger finger, less arthritis in your hands, but you're all, and I'm not a doctor, I'm just telling you my opinion and my experience. Good, Matthew says he's working on the finger roll. When you do these finger rolls, you're going to be exercising, strengthening the opposite of the hand closing muscles. You're going to be doing the extensors instead of just the flexors. You're going to be doing a little bit of extensor and flexor all at the same time in this one. But there's very little that's as good as this for building real hand strength and dexterity. If you want to add some resistance training, get a bucket of sand or rice, stick your hand in, pretend like you're a kung fu master, go in with the beak, and then open your hand. If you want to work the squeezing muscles, that's a great thing. I've got a lot of videos on here on how to get grip strength. Or when they sell the, here in the States, when you get a head, usually 2 or 3 heads of broccoli at like Whole Foods or Publix or Kroger, wherever you buy your fresh green broccoli. It doesn't come in the can, but if you buy the one that you know you have to cook or whatever, or wash it and you eat it, it has those thick purple or white. I think Aldi's, because we get a lot from Aldi now. Aldi's are white, and I think all the other ones I've seen have been purple. But it's a thick little rubber band that holds the broccoli together, sometimes the asparagus, and that's perfect. You can use that for weeks before you snap it. But you put that around the outside between these 2 knuckles, and then you open your hand. And you start to practice that, and you're going to build real great strength in your extensors. And then it's going to be easier, Matthew, everybody else, when you do your finger rolls because you have greater strength from your broccoli band. So try that. That's a little tip. Or better yet, in the comment section below, what are your favorite hand exercises? I know a lot of you guys know a lot of stuff, and that's the greatest thing about this being a martial arts channel, an online dojo that we all share, that we all train in, is that I don't have the final word on everything. I want to hear what you do, and a lot of times I learn from you as much as you learn from me when you put your comments in there, ideas I hadn't thought of, different ways to do things, experiences that you've had that I haven't. That's what makes this such a great place. So please put those in the comment section, and then reply to each other. Comment on everybody else's comments. Yeah, Ed says salute, for sure. So finish up 30 seconds on each hand at least with your finger rolls, and I'll see you guys in just a little bit. We'll do another one of these. Again, look for the variations. I'm doing push-up variations right now, but they're not all going to be push-ups. It's going to be all body exercises that make you wicked strong for martial arts. You guys are awesome. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you.